Hello, everybody, and welcome. We've got a full house of cheering fans, including Earl B., the home team's biggest fan. First game this year, pretzels, popcorn, beer. First round draft choice, Monday night is here. Sing the Stars and Stripes, announce the play-by-play. Offense, defense, deep pass, the wave.
They try to stop him with the man-to-man. Nickel dime, 7 backs to the plan. Coin toss, timeout, a must-win game. The snap, the kick, the Hall of Fame. Earl B, he's on.
It's high school football time once again here at George Daniel Stadium. And you know, John, it seems like just yesterday we said welcome to week 1 of high school football. Here it is, the 10th and the final week. After this, it's all playoff action. But the big finale here at George Daniel Stadium is the Southview Saints playing host to the Admiral King Admirals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Bacalar, along with my partner John Nesbitt, our cameraman, producer, and director Bob Quinlan, and we're going to bring you the exciting play-by-play action of this ball game. The Admirals come into the game 3-6. The Southview Saints are 4-5 with an opportunity to end the season on a happy 5-5 note if they could pull out the big win. And John, last year a lot of people expected the Saints to win, but for whatever reason, it was Admiral King, when all was said and done, winning 20-13. How do you see tonight's game?
Well, once again, the reason why you play football is that when it's an inner city, inner school rivalry like Southview and Admiral King is, you can throw the records out. There's a lot of incentive for both teams to win. A lot of people asked me, how are you going to handle this one where you work in one school, but you're in the school system where the other school's there too? And I'm going to do it real simply. I'm going to commend both teams because each one of them has a guy that carries a lot of stats with him. David Hands from Lorain Admiral King is Admiral King's unofficial leader. He does it interception-wise. He does it catching passes. He's had 5 touchdowns in one game on the ground. Jeff Hughes is a leader stat-wise for Southview. He's had multiple touchdown games. He's led their team. He's done it with interceptions. So I'll put it real easily on who's going to win the game. Whichever opposing team of the two can stop the other stat leader from the other team. If Southview stops Hands or if Admiral King stops Hughes, that's the winner of the football game.
And looking at the team statistics for the first 9 weeks of the high school football season, the Southview Saints have accumulated 1,950 yards rushing, while Admiral King accumulated 1,351. Through the air, the Saints with 629 yards passing, the Admirals a bit heftier with 761. But when you look at the total yardage, it's Southview with 2,579 yards total offense to Admiral King's 2,112. As far as scoring goes, the Southview Saints are averaging 20.1 points per game for a total of 181. Where the Admiral King Admirals are a bit lower with a 12.4 average, having only put 112 points on the board. Points given up, the Southview Saints 215, the Admirals 214. So defensively, both these teams are about the same. Southview does have the nod, however, offensively, before the kickoff begins. But we'll see, like John said, what the final outcome will be, where the heart will be in these players. And we'll be back with the start of tonight's football game, the opening kickoff. But first, this time out for impressions.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
Ready to get underway here at George Daniel Stadium, the final regular season football game of the 2000 football season. And it's the Admiral King Admirals who will be defending the north goal, and Brett Crumley kicking off for the Southview Saints, who will defend the south goal. So the Admirals will take to the offense first. It's homecoming for the Lorain Southview Saints. And the kick taken on the 10-yard line by the Admirals' Wesley Nixon. Nixon getting the ball up to about the 30-yard line, where he is being dropped by a host of Southview tacklers. Checking the offensive lineup for the Admirals in the backfield, David Rice at quarterback. The running backs are Donnie Hands and David Hands, along with Keith Wood. The center is Juan Pacheco. The two guards, Mark Fox and Johnny Evans. The two tackles, Tony Ridenour and Jason Williams, and the two tight ends, Craig Fitch and Jamie Feliciano. We'll check the Southview defense in a moment. Well, we can look at the two tackles at least. Number 70, Josh Whitfield, and number 63, Danny Mercado. Here's the first play from scrimmage, and the give across the 35-yard line. The ball runner is Donnie Hands, tackled by Steve Ridenour. The two defensive ends are number 58, Carlos Pagan, a 240-pound senior, and James Hamilton, number 33, a 210-pound senior. The linebackers are Carl Harris, Steve Ridenour, and Ronnie Soto. The defensive backs, Edwin Vargas, Willie Tillman, Jason Noble, and Jeff Coates. The give is to David Hands. David Hands across the 40-yard line, picking up a first down for the Admirals before being tackled by Willie Tillman. The Admirals should have the 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line.
Okay, first two plays we've seen. The first play was 46 power, run by Donnie Hands off tackle. Second play was counter 7, and it gave a first down to Admiral King with David Hands running the ball.
What's the difference between a power 46 and the 7?
We'll take care of that in the next play, promise.
All right, the pitch goes to Donnie Hands. Donnie Hands gets up to about the 44-yard line before being tackled by Neftali Bonilla.
Okay, Ronnie,
in the lineup.
The difference between what you've got is with these equal running backs, the wing backs, you've got a slasher and David Hands, who is the counter man, and the power back is going to be Donnie Hands. Donnie did the power running with the 46 power, and David Hands did the counter 7 with the misdirection play. One's the hammer, one's the slasher.
I wonder why they never had those kind of names when I was playing football in high school. Number 35, Keith Wood, the ball carrier, 170-pound sophomore, tackled by Ronnie Soto, a 185-pound junior. The ball across the 45, being spotted on the 46, where it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Now, I'm going to tell you what bodes well for the Admiral King offense has been the addition of Keith Wood, who is a sophomore running back, number 35. He's the fullback. And not that Timmy Blakely didn't do a good job, but Wood, I'll come back to, gives a nice dimension.
And talking to Coach Bill Jones, kind of indicated that Blakely was injured. The pass is going to Jamie Feliciano. He's going to be tackled for a loss back around the 40-yard line, making the stop. Edwin Vargas, a 160-pound senior.
Okay, what Admiral King ran there was a screen to the right tight end, Adam Feliciano. And it was set up real nice. The reason why you want to call a screen sometimes in certain passing situations is that you've got those 4 linebackers that Southview has dropping deep back, and an underneath route that Feliciano route would have been nice. He just touched the knee when he caught the ball.
Eon Wright, or David Hands, punting for the Admirals, back on about his 26-yard line. Low punt lands and will take an Admiral King roll, and finally downed on about the 18-yard line, where the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10.
You know, Ronnie, real quickly with Keith Woods. Timmy Blakely was hurt with a dislocated shoulder in practice about a week and a half ago. So the young man, who's a sophomore, had to step up and play this fullback spot. And I saw him play last week at Warren Holland, and he gives a nice mesh for the fullback spot along with the slasher and the hammer when it comes to David and Donnie Hands. So I think he's been a nice addition. Timmy Blakely also did a nice job when he was in there.
1st and 10 for the Saints on their own 18-yard line. First play from scrimmage for the Saints goes to Jeff Jeff Hughes. Hughes gets the ball across the 20 before being tackled by Jason Brown, a 190-pound junior. Looking at the Saints offensively in the backfield, the quarterback is number 4, Robert Strasser. The tailback is number 23, Jeff Hughes. The halfback is number 40, Alonzo Williams. The wide receivers are number 18, Chris Galligan, and number 88, Will Torres. The center is Steve Ridenour, number 51, a 220-pound senior. We'll check the rest of the line in a moment. Strasser looking to pass. Checking, running to the far side, and brought down for a loss back around the 15-yard line. The two offensive guards for the Saints are number 60, Joe Spahn, and Neftali Bonilla. And the two offensive tackles are Tony Rodriguez, number 68, and Joe Mixa, number 67. That tackle for a loss, by the way, was made by the Admirals' Jason Williams, a 265-pound senior. And finally, offensively for the Saints, the tight end is number 33, James Hamilton. We'll look at the Admirals' defensive lineup in a moment. On the 3rd and 12, in motion for the Saints, and a flag and a loss. Strasser tackled back around the 5-yard line by Johnny Evans. In motion was Jason Noble for the Southview Saints. Defensively for the Admirals, the two tackles are Tony Ridenour and Adam Aldridge. The two defensive ends are Jason Williams and Johnny Evans. The linebackers, Craig Fitch, Keith Wood, Jason Brown, and Chris Miller. And the defensive backs are David Hands, Donnie Hands, and Wesley Nixon. And it's going to be a punting situation for the Southview Saints as they're back to about their 6-yard line where the ball has finally been spotted. 4th and about 20. So they're back in their own territory. In fact, the punter, Brett Crumley, will be punting from his end zone. Good snap from center, and a high punt. David Hands taking the ball on the 42, going to the far side of the field, to the 35, he's to the 30, he's to the 20, and finally knocked out of bounds on about the 20-yard line, where the Admirals will take over 1st and 10 from the Saints 20, making the stop for Southview, Josh Henderson, a 190-pound sophomore.
You know, the first series that Southview ran, you've got Jeff Hughes that is probably the second or the first best running back I've seen this year in this stadium for the games that we've done. And they ran him on one play and then went to throwing the ball, which is not a strong suit for Southview. I'll get back to what David Hands did here in a minute.
All right, the Admirals offensively, David Rice, the quarterback, pitches the ball to Donnie Hands. Donnie Hands gets the ball across the 15-yard line. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play, brought down by a host of Southview Saints. It's going to be 2nd down and 5.
All right, now, the first play that Admiral King ran on this series was 46 power. Donnie Hands is going to be your power back. You saw David Hands on the previous play on the punt return, and the worst thing you can do on a special teams with a returner like Hands is to give him a chance to get the ball upfield, which he did very nicely.
David Hands in motion. The pitch goes to David. David looking for running room. Picks up a 1st down for the Admirals across the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Ronnie Soto, 185-pound junior, making the tackle for the Saints.
Now, I told you that Hands is a slasher. Well, he can also do what Donnie Hands does. David Hands ran a 47 power there, which is what Donnie Hands ran the previous play, which is a 46 power. The difference in the two runners is Donnie's a little bit more deliberate, and I'll tell you what, David Hands, when he gets up into the hole, you better get him because he's looking cutback.
David Rice, the quarterback, barking the signals. In motion is Donnie, gets it off to David. David in the end zone. Touchdown.
All right, now.
Loose ball, but he got it across the goal line, and that's all that counts.
David just scored on a reverse at 9. And what that was they showed a double handoff. Donnie Hands had the ball first to look like it was going to be a 46 power. David comes back over the top on what they call a reverse at 9. And if you notice, Southview had a defense upfield. David cut underneath it, looked back for the cutback, scored. Even though he fumbled the ball, he had crossed the end zone, 6 points.
Eon Wright will attempt the point after. Holding is David Hands. And the kick is in the air. It is good. First quarter of play. It's the Admiral King Admirals going on the scoreboard first, 7-0. And it will be kicking off for the Admirals, who, by the way, has established a school record for the number of PATs, points after touchdown, and a squibbly kick by the right is picked up and down by the Southview Saints' Chris Galligan. The Saints will take over 1st and 10, the ball on about their own 39-yard line. The old record prior to Eon breaking it was 15 points after touchdown, and now with this last one, Eon has 17, so anything more than that, he just increases the record.
What is a squiggly kick?
A squiggly kick is one that goes along the ground. And if it isn't, then I don't know. Uh-oh, a handoff to Hughes, and he drops it. But I do believe the Saints were able to recover their own fumble. And it looks like Hughes coming up the pile, picking up his own fumble, but a loss on the play. The ball back to just over the 35-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 14.
The reason why Admiral King, or the reason why Southview had 9 people, probably like 9 people up on that kickoff return, is that Admiral King does exclusively pooch punts. They do not want to return, so they don't kick very far.
You call them pooch, I call them squiggly.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to tell you what, the reason why they do that is that once that ball goes 10 yards, and if that had bounced off the Southview defender, they're hoping to try, number 1, not get a return, and number 2, see if they can get the ball on a fumble or off the shoulder pads like they did earlier in the year.
All right, the penalty, as you can see by the official, is offsides Southview. 5 yards back. The ball now just over the 30-yard line, where it's 2nd down and 19 for Southview. Split wide to the left is Chris Galligan. And the give is to Hughes. Hughes to the 35, breaking away to the 40. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. He's got almost clear sailing, but brought down at the last moment around the 10-yard line by the Admirals' Wesley Nixon. A touchdown saving tackle by Nixon, and one whale of a run by Jeff Hughes.
All right, what Southview ran, and this is why this kid is a good back. They ran, in Admiral King terminology, because I'll try to keep it the same as a counter 7. It was counter tray here at the bottom of the screen. Everybody blocked down, backside guard tackle pull, and Hughes is the best back or second best back I've seen all year. Wesley Nixon, game-saving tackle.
1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. And again, the give is to Hughes. Hughes gets across the 10-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down, tackle made by Adam Aldridge. And we have to point out, Jeff Hughes is the top rusher in the Greater Lake League with 1,490 yards on 176 carries for an 8.5 average, and that should increase after tonight.
Ron, on this play, they ran an isolation. Admiral King is thinking wide, so why not run an isolation between the tackles, which what they did.
All right, gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Hughes again the ball carrier. This time he's going to be brought down by a host of Admiral King tacklers. Getting the ball up close to the 5-yard line. May have picked up a couple of yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Also, Jeff Hughes, John, needs 325 yards tonight to break Frank Witherspoon's record of 1,710 yards in a season. Jeff has 1,368 yards entering tonight. He's added quite a few already. On a quarterback keep, Robert Strouser gets the ball across the 5-yard line, trying to get that 1st down, and Adam Aldridge making the tackle.
Now, the reason why on a 3rd down that a quarterback would try a quarterback sneak in this situation is that Admiral King runs a 4-4 defense, which is an even defense, which means the center is not covered. They were hoping to get more than what they did, so they wouldn't even have to call for a measurement.
And a measurement is what's taking place. Jeff Hughes also, and we might as well herald this young man, the sophomore 190-pounder. Last week he established a school record with 305 yards on 42 carries and 2 touchdowns and even a pass interception, his 4th on the season. He had a touchdown run of 54 yards and a 2-yard touchdown run. And we're going to have first and goal for the Southview Saints, the ball on about the 4-yard line. In fact, Jeff is tied for 8th in Lorain County with the total number of yards for one game that he made last week against Sandusky, 305. Admiral King's former great tailback, Raymond Harris, is 3rd in the county with 332 yards. That was against Lorain High back in 1988. Johnny Evans leading the attack on that particular effort to bring down Jeff Hughes.
Both this play and the last play, Southview has run isolation between the tackles. If they're second and goal at the 3-yard line, let's say if they use a counter tray or a misdirection to get him outside, or just a simple toss sweep, they've got an offset fullback left. Let's see if they run left.
All right, second and goal. The pitch goes to Hughes, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. Ball should be spotted on about the 2-yard line. Mark Fox making the tackle for the Admirals. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Now, what I mean by an offset fullback is that traditionally a fullback line's behind the center and the quarterback. Southview likes to offset their fullback, which means that the fullback can get to the point of attack quicker to that side, or they could fool you and come back to the other side away from the offset. That time they ran to the offset fullback.
And the give this time to Southview's Alonzo Williams, who takes the ball into the end zone for the touchdown.
And you know, good call from the Southview coaching staff, because all the attention is going to be put on Jeff Hughes. So why not in short yardage, when the entire Admiral King defense is watching Jeff Hughes, that they simply give the ball on a straight dive to Alonzo Williams, and he basically walked into the end zone. Good call, Southview coaching staff.
Brett Crumley attempting the point after. Good snap, put down, and a wonderful kick. Super job by Brett Crumley, and with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter play, we have a tie ball game, 7-7. I want to take this opportunity, too, for the last time this season, to thank the fine folks at Tops who have made possible all of the refreshments here in the press box for the visiting media and coaches. Also, thank you to the Southview Adult Booster Club for the pizzas, and our appreciation to our fine athletic director, Ray Ebersol, who made it all possible. Kicking off for the Southview Saints. There's no wind tonight here at George Daniels Stadium, but unbelievable what a beautiful evening it is for the 10th game of the high school football season. I remember last year, John, we sat here in big jackets and the windows down. Right. Exactly. The ball taken momentarily and dropped by Wesley Nixon back around the 5-yard line, and he's going to be brought down on about the 8. And the Admirals will take over. Willie Tillman making the stop for the Southview Saints. It'll be King's ball, 1st and 10 from about their 8-yard line.
Even though
David Rice, the quarterback. In motion, Donnie Hands, the ball given to Donnie. Donnie right up the middle, gets the ball up to about the 14-yard line. A pickup of possibly 5 yards on the play, where it's going to be 2nd down and 5, and the tackle made by the middle linebacker, Steve Ridenour.
Now, if you look at the sticks, 1st and 10, now they're 2nd and 4. 46 power run by Donnie Hands, the backside guard and tackle are pulling. Mark Fox and Tony Ridenour. They're getting good yardage on 1st and 10 with Donnie Hands.
Well, they spot the ball just inside the 15, make it a pickup of 6. It's 2nd down and 4, and the give this time is to cousin David Hands. David gets the ball up to about the 18-yard line before being tackled by Ronnie Soto. It should be 2nd down or make it 3rd down.
They're looking.
Well, they're going to look for a possible measurement. And while we have this opportunity, let me point out some statistics on David Hands. In the rushing department, 525 yards coming into this game tonight, 66 carries, a 7.9 average. In the receiving department, David Hands, 27 for 685 yards, a 26.6 average. And in scoring, he leads in these two teams tonight with 13 touchdowns coming into the game. He picked one up in the first quarter for touchdown number 14, and David Hands with a total of 84 points on the season, where Jeff Hughes has scored 12 touchdowns coming into this game tonight for 72 points. It's going to be third down and just inches for the Admirals. And the clock begins to run now with about a minute remaining in the first quarter of play. Scores all tied 7-7. And I do believe on a quarterback keep, we've got a first down, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. Ball on the 19-yard line. David Rice, the quarterback in passing, is 28 for 65 for 682 yards, a 43% completion average. Pitch goes to David, handoff goes to cousin Donnie, and he's going to be dropped for a loss by Ronnie Soto back on the 15-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 14.
All right, now that was a reverse at 8. What they did there is what they've done with David Hands at the reverse at 9. Double handoff, and it looked like that Southview had the play defensed real well because there was no open field to the outside. Donnie Hands tried to cut it back. He couldn't do it. Nice job, Southview defense.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter of play with the score tied 7-7. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after this timeout for First Federal Savings of Lorain.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Second down and about 14 for the Admirals as we begin the second quarter of action here at George Daniels Stadium. And it's David Rice looking to pass. There is a flag back on around the 10-yard line. Tackle made by Carl Harris, a 180-pound senior.
One of the not strong suits for the Admiral King offense this year has been the passing game, and it's not always solely responsible of the quarterback because you have got to give the quarterback enough time to throw the ball. The Admiral King offensive line has done a decent job of running the ball at times this year, but the one thing they've had problems with is giving their quarterback enough time to set up and throw. It is not the quarterback's fault that when he sets up, somebody is in your face. And pass blocking involves 6 or 7 people, and there's been continual breakdowns in the Admiral King offensive line all year.
It's going to be 3rd down and 24. There was a holding penalty against the Admirals declined by the Southview Saints. They'll take the loss on the tackle back to about the 7-yard line. Donnie Hands, the ball carrier, gets it up to about the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Joe Spahn, where it's going to be 4th down and a punting situation for the Admirals. And doing the punting will be David Hands.
Now, if you're a fan up here and saying, why would Admiral King run what they call a 46 power on a play like that that has no hopes of getting the first down? You don't want to make a mistake in the pass in the offensive game here and allow them to get a situation where there's an interception. Take the run, get what you can get, punt the ball, and play defense.
David Hands standing on about his goal line.
There's a penalty against Southview.
Yes, a penalty definitely against the Southview.
We're hearing a legal substitution.
Which brings the ball to the original line of scrimmage, where it's now 4th down and 10, giving David a little more breathing room to get this punt off as he stands on his 5-yard line. A high snap from center. He jumps, grabs it, gets a good kickoff. Chris Galligan did not signal for the fair catch. At least I didn't see it, but there is a flag. Maybe he just didn't have enough room to catch it. Donnie Hands was covering on the play.
You know, that's what they're going to call. They're going to call not that the punt returner did not fair catch the ball, but they're going, well, you know what, Ron? What was the call?
That's what I'm waiting to see.
Well, they signaled, and I didn't see it. If you did not signal a fair catch, then
the penalty is against the Admirals. It is going to be declined by the Southview Saints, and I'm assuming that it was that Donnie Hands just didn't give Chris Galligan enough room.
That's what they're calling
to catch the ball. Even though there was no fair catch being signaled for, you got to give the punt receiver an opportunity to.
You know what? I'll dispute that one, because if you fair catch it, you've got to give him a chance. If he doesn't fair catch, then hey, shame on him.
And a flag before the action could really get underway. We'll have to sort this one out now.
Well, I'm sure this is a procedural call because they didn't let the play go, and Jason Williams is kind of applauding there. And I'm going to tell you what Southview was running. They were running what I'll call a counter tray 6. Hughes scored almost on a counter tray 7. So they're going to go misdirection against Admiral King. And what that does is the fullback goes away from the tailback. So if the linebackers from Admiral King are looking for the fullback to lead to the tailback, Southview's trying to split up the combination.
Illegal procedure against the Saints brings the ball back to the 37-yard line. 1st and 15. The give is to Jeff Hughes, and he gets the ball up to about the 39-yard line, tackled by a host of Admiral King tacklers. In on the charge, David Hands, or I correct that, Craig Fitch.
Now, if you noticed, Southview ran an isolation 17 where the fullback, Alonzo Williams, took them to the play. The one that may break Admiral King's back with this good back, Jeff Hughes, is when the fullback does not lead the fullback or the tailback to the play.
Gain of 2 yards on the play. It's now 2nd down and 13. Strauser looking to pass up the middle to Torres. Cannot hold on. Covering on the play for the Admirals was Wesley Nixon, making the jarring stop, knocking the ball loose.
Will Torres has had this type of year. He's an outstanding receiver. Had a great year his junior year. We have seen him this year. That was a quick post to him, and he was open. He was inside of Wesley Nixon, should have come up with the ball and didn't. Sometimes he's made great catches, and sometimes he's missed them.
So far coming into this game, Will Torres is 18 receptions for 201 yards and an 11.1 average. And a big chance to pick up a 1st down there for the Saints, but just couldn't hold on. The give this time is to Alonzo Williams, gets up to the 40. There is a flag in the backfield.
Now, if you look in the backfield there was a scissors trap. Everybody's looking for Hughes. They were in a split backfield, and Hughes went to the top of the screen. Williams, who was at the top of the screen, got the ball and came towards us. Problem is there was a procedure call, and real quickly, Ron, there's holding against Southview.
Declined by the Admirals. They'll take the 4th and 13 and a punting situation.
Will Torres really presents a problem for Admiral King. If you're going to put 8 or 9 in the box to stop Hughes, then you can open up the game with Torres. But then Will's got to come up with that catch that he dropped.
Brett Crumley punting the ball from his 30-yard line, and it goes out of bounds. And the Admirals will take over. They'll have good field position, at least better than they had the last time around. They'll be 1st and 10 from about their own 41-yard line. Side the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Admirals. And David Rice still barking the signals at quarterback. David Hands in motion, coming to the near side. And it is Rice passing off the fingertips of David Hands. Incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
All right. When you have this base offense that Bill Jones has brought in from the Southwestern Conference, you've got 2 running backs, a fullback, double tight, everybody's boxed in. You've got an all-conference receiver last year in David Hands. They put him in motion, which gives you trips. One of the things they want to do with Hands is get him the ball immediately, and they did that, or tried to do it. David Rice's mechanics weren't good enough to deliver the ball. That should have been a completion.
David again in motion, coming to the near side, being covered by Jeff Hughes defensively. And the give is to Donnie Hands. Donnie Hands gets across the 50-yard line. Tackle made by Ronnie Soto.
Now, I'm going to tell you why I like the call. The previous play, they showed Hands in motion with trips. They come back the next play and show the same motion to trips, so you're thinking, what are they going to do with Hands next? But the other Hands on the counter 6 gets the ball. The reason why Donnie got close to a 1st down, if he didn't get a 1st down, is that he got messed up in the, they couldn't find him.
Well, I could have swore I saw the ball go across the mid-stripe, but they're putting it on the 49 where it's 3rd down and a very short yard. For the Admirals, David Hands in motion. Pitch goes to David. David right up the middle, gets the 1st down, still on his feet, and finally knocked down by Jeff Hughes.
Now, look at what kind of, this was 3rd and inches. Bad spot by the referee. David Hands is going in motion. He's going to run a 47 power. Look where the ball ended up. David Hands ended up cutbacking from the ball where he originally started. The minute that he gets the ball, he's looking cutback, just like Jeff Hughes. Both of them are outstanding runners.
1st and 10 for the Admirals from the Southview 44-yard line. David Hands again in motion. And it's David Rice looking to pass, connects with David Hands, gets away from Jeff Hughes, and finally tackled by Willie Tillman.
All right.
Picks up another 1st down for the Admirals.
Admiral King motion into trips. The same play that they tried to get the ball down here to David Hands, they got the ball to him up here. David Rice has got to do a better job of stepping into his throw. Now I'm going to tell you what, without knowing the play calling, if Southview adjusts that throw, guess what, when Hands comes down and then goes up on a pump and go. Look for that down the road.
From the 32-yard line, Donnie Hands in motion. Pitch goes to Donnie. Donnie right up the middle, pulled from behind, but gets across the 30-yard line. Joe Spahn making the tackle for the Southview Saints. They'll spot the ball on the 29-yard line. A pickup of about 3 yards where it's going to be 2nd down and 7.
46 power, netted them 2 yards. The difference between Donnie and his cousin David is that Donnie just doesn't have the speed to hit that hole that his cousin does.
Official timeout on the field for a equipment adjustment.
We're doing a good job.
On the 2nd down and 8, since they spotted the ball a little bit closer to that 30-yard line, it's going to be a loss on the play. In on the tackle, Efren Gonzalez, also in on the stop for the Saints, Joe Spahn. The ball back on the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 9.
First misdirection play that they've called with David Hands, and Southview did an excellent job. Got upfield, destroyed all the blocking for that misdirection play. Good job, Southview.
David Hands in motion. David Rice back to pass, and he is being chased there by Carl Harris, and incomplete. Incomplete. The intended receiver, David Hands, in the end zone.
I'll tell you what, Ron, because I don't know if you saw the end of it. Roll out left to the bottom of the screen. David Rice gets face masked. As he throws the ball, Hands is behind the secondary. Should have caught the ball, and it went through his hands. David Rice had enough presence of mind with the go pattern to keep up with his pattern, and he really did put a nice ball where David Hands should have caught it and beat the defenders. The pass blocking, the reason why the face mask was there, the fullback did not pick up the block on the outside linebacker of Southview.
And the face mask indication by the official puts the ball just about on the 26-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 4 now for the Admirals. 3rd and 4 with 7:16 remaining in the second quarter of play. We have a tie score, 7-7. Admirals were first to get on the scoreboard with a touchdown by David Hughes, or David Hands, and then for the Southview Saints, Alonzo Williams scoring. David Hands, the ball carrier, picks up the first down for the Admirals. Tackle made by Josh Henderson.
I'll tell you what, where David Hands is an athlete, that is a counter 7 at the left offensive tackle. That's where that play should hit. Where he hit the ball was over the center and was looking, the reason why he slipped, he was looking to cut back even further to the top of the screen. Good running back.
From the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Donnie Hands in motion. The pitch goes to Donnie, looking for the running room. Gets across the 15 and up close to the 5-yard line. Picking up a first down for the Admirals. If all goes well from this vantage point, it should be 1st and goal for King. Tackle made by Jeff Hughes.
Now I'll tell you what, that was a 46 power that ended up being a 48 power because the defensive left side of Southview was caved in and allowed Donnie Hands something he doesn't see very much of, a wide open field to the top of the screen.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Admirals threatening. David Hands in motion. Pitch goes to David. Looking for the running room. Cuts inside. And he twists up to about the 2-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd and goal. And the tackle made by Jeff Coates.
47 power. Now, the only thing that I'm wondering about is why Coach Jones hasn't run Keith Wood a little bit. But obviously, with the success that both Hanses have had, Southview may be looking at them, and you can sneak in one with this sophomore fullback who showed quite a game against Warren Howland last week. Let's see if Coach Jones tries to sneak the ball in. Now, I'll tell you what, you got a new fullback, Chris Miller. Let's see if he gets it.
David Hands in motion, gets the pitch. David looking for running room, can't find it. He's going to be tackled, maybe at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a slight loss on the play. We'll see where the officials spot the ball. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
At my vantage point here, absolutely no blocking on that play was done by the Admiral King offensive line. There was nowhere to run because nothing was being accomplished.
There was a loss on the play. The ball back now to the 4-yard line, where it's now 3rd and goal.
To me, the play calling is easy. You give it to Hands on a double handoff misdirection.
David in motion. Pitch goes to David. Loose ball. Gets away. And the Admirals able to recover, but they're back on their own on the Southview 15-yard line, where it's going to be 4th and goal from the 15.
You know what? I don't know what broke down there. I think David Rice, who's coming out of the ball game.
Because we're going to have a
field. Well, I guess that's why he's coming out of the ball game.
Field goal attempt by Eon Wright. David Hands will do the holding. The ball will be spotted on the 23-yard line, make it a 33-yard field goal, and the ball is up, and it is good. A 33-yard field goal by Eon Wright gives the Admirals the lead, 10-7, with 4:27 remaining in the second quarter. For the kickoff, Eon Wright kicking off for the Admirals. As we indicated, this is homecoming for the Southview Saints, and the homecoming queen, Angela Santiago. The homecoming king for the Saints, Wilbert Scott. We want to congratulate them. A short kickoff grabbed by the Admirals' Southview's Carl Harris, and downed on the 40-yard line, so the Southview Saints will take over with 4:24 remaining in the first half with good field position on the 40.
Ian Wright, who just made that, what was it, a 33-yard field goal?
Yes.
Lost his footing with his plant foot right in the center of the field where it's a little bit worn. So credit him with completing the kick for the field goal. And his kickoffs are really not short. That is what he is told to do. He is not asked to kick long because they don't feel they can cover the punt.
Give goes to Jeff Hughes on a counter play, and he doesn't quite get to the line of scrimmage. It should be spotted shy of the 40-yard line, brought down by a host of Admiral King tacklers. Also, prior to the start of tonight's game, they dedicated the stadium with all of its improvements, and a plaque was presented to the Lorain City Schools by the builder. Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier, gets the first down for the Southview Saints and gets it into Admiral King territory just over the 50-yard line. Southview 1st and 10.
Got a hurry-up offense here from Southview.
Clock stop momentarily for the Chains. Jeff Hughes again, the ball carrier, advances up to about the 46-yard line. Pickup of 4 yards, should be second down. Well, they're going to say a pickup of 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Tackle made by Craig Fitch.
This has been the Jeff Hughes show so far on this hurry-up offense, and why not? Best back in the county.
Give this time is to Alonzo Williams. Williams gets the ball across the 45. Ball spotted on about the 42-yard line, and the tackle made by Tony Ridenour.
Now, the reason why you've got a 2-minute offense, don't let Admiral King give a chance to make their defensive calls.
It's 3rd down and 3. Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier, picks up the first down on his feet, gets up to the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you what, one thing that Admiral King's going to have to do, they're going to have to tackle Mr. Hughes, because if they don't, he's going to cause them immense problems. Couple missed tackles in some of these plays.
1st and 10 for the Saints from the Admiral King 30-yard line, and the Admirals calling timeout. Time in for our fine friends at the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. The events coming up in November on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we have the movie Chicken Run, which is rated G. So moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, grab the little ones and come on down to the Palace Civic Center. You know, the admission is just $1.50 per person. You can watch this fantastic Chicken Run movie on the county's largest screen with the best sound system. That's the first weekend in November. Then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 10th, 11th, and 12th, there's more for the youngsters. It's the movie Disney's The Kid. Showtimes are always at 7 p.m. at the Palace Civic Center. On Sunday, the 12th, it's the Ken Demko in concert. The memories brought to life on the mighty Wurlitzer organ at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets just $5. And then that night, the 12th, Disney's The Kid, 7 p.m. Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway, downtown Lorain. On the 1st and 10, tackle made by Adam Aldridge. The give was to Alonzo Williams right up the middle.
Surprise there. I think you run your horse. I guarantee you now, it looks like they could wind up here throwing the ball. But let's see if they do a scissors action. They're in an offset. Okay, they're in an offset right. Ball goes right.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. It's Hughes, the ball carrier. Hughes looking for running room near side. Brought down from behind. Tackle made by Chris Miller.
Chris Miller from his outside linebacker spot in this 4-4 did a good east-west lateral movement. They had offset fullback right, Southview did. Offset fullback, they tend to run to the side where it is, they can go misdirection. And they simply ran him down. Nice job, Chris Miller, stopping the toss sweep.
We indicated earlier, John, that tonight is homecoming for the Southview Saints with the homecoming queen, Angela Santiago, and the king, Wilbert Scott. We certainly hope that we can see their picture in the local print media. Still waiting to see the Admiral King homecoming king and queen, and that took place several weeks ago. Pass to Torres, Will Torres, incomplete. It's going to be 4th down.
You know what? Now, I'll tell you what, that quick slant, Admiral King is in a bind. They've got to stop Hughes. Every once in a while, number 40, Alonzo Williams, gets the ball in a dive or a trap. Then they've got a 6'6", 6'7" wide receiver. And, if Will Torres catches these 2 quick posts in the game, it hurts Admiral King. him dropping the ball like he has on those two plays has helped Admiral King.
Saints going for it on the 4th down, and
Bootleg.
Strauser back to pass, right down the middle, and incomplete. The intended receiver for the Southview Saints, Jeff Coates, and he must have tripped on one of the chalk marks because he went down and the ball went right over his head.
Well, you're being kind. We got a flag.
And a flag on the field.
I think Southview might have lost their cool. That was a good no call by the official because the feet did get tied up with defender Wesley Nixon and the flanker receiver at the bottom of the screen. Southview rolled out left. The flanker did a post, and they mixed up feet. That is a good no call, and I think Southview lost their cool on this, which hurts them. Because this is
conduct against the Saints.
Take the
ball
call
goes to the Admirals on the loss of downs. Plus they get 15 yards added on. So the Admirals, with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter, will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. And speaking of the print media, the two sports reporters here covering this big game for the Morning Journal, Dan Gillis, and for the Chronicle Telegram of Elyria, Mike Anderson. Both are products of Lorain City Schools. Gillis graduating from Admiral King, Anderson from Southview. So that's kind of interesting, I thought, anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what. They've shown the fullback. Now let's see if this is Keith Woods. No, this is Chris Miller at the fullback spot. And I think you've got to show him, even though you've been showing both hands. This is a 3-back offense with the quarterback being the 4th back. You have to show your fullback occasionally.
Gain of 4 yards on the play by Chris Miller. 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 47-yard line. Clock continues to run with about a minute left, and it's Rice looking to pass over to the far side. Almost intercepted. The intended receiver, David Hands, covering on the play for the Saints, Jason Noble. Almost got his hands on that pass.
Now,
on the incompletion, it's going to be 3rd and 6.
I'll tell you what. David Rice did a very athletic thing. It was a rollout down here. What it was a throwback. It was a throwback to David Hands. There was an outside linebacker from Southview coming upfield. David Hands, if he had stayed where he was going to be sacked. He did what all quarterbacks are supposed to do under pressure, is step up in the pocket. That was almost a great throw and catch. Good defender play by Southview.
57 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And the Southview Saints jumping offside. That'll tack 5 yards on, bringing the ball to about the 49-yard line.
That's a no-play call. That's a design call. If you use it judiciously in the game, that was 3rd and what? 3rd and 7.
3rd and 6 originally.
Oh.
Now add 5, and it's 3rd and 1.
And now it's, like you say, 3rd and 1. And Coach Jones has this in his offensive package. It's called a no play on 3. And he got what he wanted, 5 yards.
Donnie hands in motion. Pitch goes to Donnie. Donnie looking for running room. Gets across the 45, the 40, inside the 40-yard line, and a 1st down for the Admirals. That stops the clock with 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter while they move the chains. Tackle made by Southview's Jeff Coates, and Jeff Hughes also in on the stop. And the Admirals calling a timeout. 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. David Rice, the quarterback, calls the signals, going back to pass, and he is brought down for a loss by Wesley Nixon. Or Carl Harris, I'm sorry. Carl Harris making the tackle, and a big loss back to the 48-yard line. And again, the Admirals call timeout with 34 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd down and 20 for the Admirals. Big loss on that play. Rice back to pass again. Little better protection. Right down the middle, the intended receiver, Donnie Hands, covering for the Southview Saints. Jeff Coates, incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd down and 20.
I'll tell you, every time that David Rice goes back to throw a ball, Carl Harris from his outside linebacker spot, and I'm going to have to watch whether he flops from top to bottom of the screen. He is coming upfield, and I'm going to tell you what, the fullbacks for Admiral King have got to do a better job protecting. Now, Carl Harris is not up on the line, this time number 5.
Donnie hands in motion. Pitch goes to Donnie. Donnie with some running room. Gets the ball back to about the 40, 41, 42-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down. And no doubt the Admirals will either let the clock run out or attempt to get one last play off. Tackle made by Joe Spahn. John, we mentioned about Dan Gillis from the Morning Journal being an Admiral King graduate, Mike Anderson from the Chronicle Telegram being a Southview graduate. We also have Bob Migra here from the Cleveland Plain Dealer, who is a Lorain High School grad. And that's Admiral King Admirals leading the Southview Saints by 3 points, 10-7. And we'll have an opportunity for you to listen to both the Lorain Admiral King Band and the Lorain Southview Band. And we'll be back with the start of the second half after the bands and a timeout for impressions.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
All right, the kickoff to open up the second half. The Admirals kicking off to the Saints, defending the north goal. The Saints will defend the south goal. And the tackle made by Wesley Nixon, getting the kickoff for the Southview Saints and bringing the ball up to about the 35-yard line is David Mercado.
Good coverage by the Admiral King kickoff team. There were no lanes for Southview to attack, and that's what you want. That's why there wasn't much of a return.
Officials spot the ball on the 31-yard line. 1st and 10. And the give is to Alonzo Williams right up the middle. Looks like he may have picked up a first down for the Southview Saints. David Hands making the tackle. 1st and 10 for Southview. The ball on their own 42.5-yard line.
The reason why that was a first down run by Alonzo Williams is that the inside linebackers for Admiral King and the defensive tackles got blown out and pushed up. They've had the problem all year about staying underneath people's pads.
Robert Strausser, the quarterback, hands it off to Jeff Hughes. Hughes breaking away from one tackler, picks up another first down for the Southview Saints. Craig Fitch making the tackle. The ball being spotted on about the 47-yard line. Admiral King territory, 1st and 10.
Now I'm going to tell you the difference between the Admiral King offense and the Southview offense. Admiral King is methodical. They get 6, 7, 8 yards at a time. Southview on 2 plays has gone 20 yards. The Hughes kid is explosive. He can turn this game around on 1 play.
Well, we certainly hope our viewers enjoyed the band show, the 2 bands performing here at halftime. Again, Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier, gets the ball up to the Admiral King 40-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 3. Johnny Evans making the tackle. We wish we could give you more time-wise for the bands, but that's the problem. Time just does not permit.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to attack Admiral King with Jeff Hughes, do it between the tight ends. Because Admiral King has a problem of standing up, and if the linemen engage, Hughes will have a field day.
Again, Hughes the ball carrier, flag on the play. Hughes doesn't get too much on that one. Gets the ball across the 40-yard line. Won't be enough for a first down, but we'll wait and see what the penalty's all about. Tackle made by Craig Fitch.
Now, where I was being critical,
holding the call against Southview.
I was being critical of the Admiral King defensive line, and that time, Jeff Hughes had nowhere to run. To reiterate the point, a lineman is as good as his offensive lineman. And the reason why the Admiral King defensive line looked good there is they got underneath the pads of Southview. The last 3 plays, the Admiral King defensive linemen have not done that. So if they're going to play football, that's the way they've got to stop Jeff Hughes.
10-yard penalty marched off against the Southview Saints. Takes the ball to just inside the mid-stripe, where it's going to be 2nd down and 13. Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier, gets it back into Admiral King territory up to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Tackle made by Adam Aldridge.
Now, if you notice, it's been between the tackles. Now, if it's 3rd and 7, you've seen everything between the tackles. Now, policy dictates that they go perimeter or they run a pass. But eventually, if they run the toss sweep with Jeff Hughes, it could be devastating because they've been inside so much.
Alonzo Williams and Jeff Hughes checking their wrists, where no doubt they've got some plays indicated. Want to make sure they're on the same page. Robert Strausser to pass. off the fingertips of his intended receiver, James Hamilton, where it's going to be 4th down now. Covering on the play for the Admirals, David Hands. Robert Strawser in the passing department coming into this game tonight, 59 for 130 or 59 completions on 138 attempts, 629 yards for a 42.7% completion.
That was a boot right. James Hamilton had a drag pattern going across deeper as he came across. It was a good pass.
Crumley punting for the Admirals. David Hands indicates the fair catch, takes the ball on about his 16-yard line where the Admirals will take over, 1st and 10. 9 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Admiral King leading by 3, 10-7. The Admirals 1st and 10 now take possession. Donnie Hands in motion, gets the pitch. Brings the ball up close to the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Steve Ridenour.
Okay, Admiral King opens up with a 46 counter. The point I want to get back to, if the Southview passing game to Will Torres and James Hamilton, and that boot right from the last play of Southview, good call. The ball wasn't caught by James Hamilton. If these balls are caught, Southview could be devastating with Hughes and then the Strouser in the passing game.
Gain of 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7. Donnie in motion again. And it's David Hands with the ball across the 30-yard line and out of bounds on the far side. Jeff Coates making the defensive play for the Southview Saints. And if we don't see a flag, which we don't, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Admirals.
All right, first play, they open up with a 46 counter, and they run with a hammer, which is Donnie Hands. They come back with the second play, which is reverse at 9, which if you look at the play calling, Donnie Hands touches the ball again, but then he gives it to his cousin going over the top, which is David Hands. And David in the open field has shown himself to be deadly.
From the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. Again, this Donnie Hands in motion takes the pitch from the quarterback, David Rice, and gets the ball across the 35-yard line before Edwin Vargas brings him down. A gain of about 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7.
Now, once again, this 46 power with Donnie Hands is giving Southview just enough to worry about that they've got to defend that play. But then the one they really have, the guy that breaks it open is David Hands. Now, are they going to come back and give it with the hands again, or are they going to show it with Chris Miller in the fullback? When you have an even offense, it's interesting.
David Hands in motion. The give this time was to the fullback, and he was met at the line of scrimmage. Brought down the ball carrier for the Admirals, Chris Miller. No gain on the play.
All right, all that is a belly-off tackle. They showed the fullback. Now, where Admiral King has been deficient this year, they've got 3rd and 7. They can give the ball to David Hands on some kind of running play. Whenever they've had, I want you to look for number 5, Carl Harris. Wherever they, let's say if they go trips or wherever Harris lines up, if he rushes the quarterback, Admiral King has not been able to handle it.
3rd down and 7 for the Admirals. And
they had a no play on 3. And I think Admiral King messed it up.
I do believe they did. The offensive linemen seemed like they reared up and there wasn't any snap from the center.
Look at Coach Jones in the sidelines. You can see hands on hips. And if he called a no play on 3, what he's mad about is how can you be offsides when there's no play to run? And that's why they call it no play on 3. Now, Chris Miller is being looked at by David Dury, and there's a luxury this game that has not happened all year. Both city schools have their own trainer on the field, and David Dury is walking off Chris Miller, and Southview has their trainer, so that is something nice that we do in the city. Each school is covered with a trainer the entire sports year.
Long time coming.
Yes, sir.
Glad it's here. 5-yard penalty marched off against the Admirals, bringing the ball back to the 31-yard line where it's now 3rd and 11.
Now I'm expecting Southview to bring some kind of pressure on David Rice. Every time they brought pressure, Admiral King has not responded well.
Donnie Hands in motion, coming to the near side. David Rice back to pass and connects with the Admirals' Craig Fitch. Fitch gets the ball to the Southview 40-yard line before being tackled by Carl Harris.
All right, I'm going to tell you what the play was. Love the call. It's a delay play by Craig Fitch. It's called a delay pass. What Craig Fitch does at the left tight end, it looks like he's going to be in hinge blocking. He's going to come back, settle back, and block. Then he slipped out. Nobody was there off the hinge blocking. Good call, good play, good pass.
Fitch apparently going out of bounds on about the 48-yard line. The ball in Southview territory. The give is to Donnie Hands. He's not going to go anywhere. Tackled at the line of scrimmage, maybe falls forward a yard. It'll be second down. Coming in off the tackle, Steve Ridenour for the Southview Saints.
Now, where this offense is most unpredictable, and that was a 46 power, is if it's 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, then you can go either way. It's those third downs and long, and they pulled one out of their hat with the delay call to Craig Fitch.
No gain on the play, second down and 10. On the counter, the give is to David Hands. Hands looking for running room, far side, out of bounds on about the 41-yard line. If that's where they spot the ball, that will be a pickup of 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Stop made by Ephraim Gonzalez.
Now, Admiral King, and the only reason why I know it, because I coach this at the 7th grade level, they've got 2 different types of counters. They call one reverse at 8 and one at reverse at 9. That was a counter 7. The reverse at 8 and reverse at 9's a deeper reverse. This was an off-tackle reverse play, a counter trade type of play. And the left side of the Admiral King offensive line did a great job because they caved everything into the inside.
Another big 3rd down play for the Admirals, and we have a Southview Saint coming on across the neutral zone. That should give the Admirals a 5-yard advantage and possibly a 1st down.
And once again, Ron, I could be wrong, but I do believe that they called a no play on 3. Now that's just giving them a 1st down. Now what you do with the no play on 3 later in the game, when it's a critical 3rd and 1, you don't make the call. And then you run the play, and then the defensive linemen are set back on their heels. It's good.
Kind of like a win-win situation.
I would think so.
1st and 10 for the Admirals. The pitch this time goes to Wesley Nixon. Nixon gets across the 35-yard line up to about the 32. Well, they'll spot the ball on the 33.
All right, Wesley Nixon has taken over for David Hands. What they ran there was a 47 power. So they're giving Hands a little bit of a break. Wesley Nixon is one of the runners next year that they'll probably count on. Nice little run.
Gain of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Donnie Hands gets the pitch. Donnie Hands up the middle, across the 30-yard line to about the 28. Tackle made by Willie Tillman.
Okay, the last 2 plays, they showed up. The previous play, a 47 power, off tackle to the top of the screen, 46 power down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to tell you what, with this game 10-7, if David Hands is not in here, I wonder if he's hurt, because this is where you want him in here to get another touchdown and get a 10-point lead.
3rd down and 2 for the Admirals. Ball is on the Southview 29-yard line. And still on his feet, it's David Rice. He's dragging his tackler across the 5-yard line. Grabbing a hold of Rice was Willie Tillman, and David Rice, a 175-pound senior, dragged him several yards.
Southview's clapping. I don't know.
Yellow flag down, apparently, or maybe a knee went down.
Oh, is that okay? There was no flag. Is that what they're saying?
I think the official has that spotting token that they usually throw down.
Okay. All that was 3rd and short, and they went in a quarterback sneak. And if that teaches you anything, if the quarterback decides not to give up on the play, David Rice kept on running. Now, if you're saying that his knee touched, then that comes back.
All right, the officials are discussing the situation with Joe Spahn. I don't see a yellow flag anywhere. They're going over now to talk to Bill Jones.
Tony's throwing everything.
Well, we don't quite have it figured out here in the press box. It's either someone saw a knee go down in the case of David Rice, or possibly an inadvertent whistle. The officials talked to both Bill Jones and to Tony Shoulders. Tackle on this last play made by Joe Spahn. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Admirals. The ball is spotted just inside the 20-yard line, but I can assure you one thing. Head coach Tony Shoulders for the Southview Saints is very upset.
And you know what? He may have sparked his team into stopping this drive. Let's see if Southview reacts to their coach being upset.
In fact, there was a slight loss on that play. And on the reverse, Donnie to David, and yes, indeed, a tackle, bruising tackle made by Steve Ridenour for another big loss. The ball back on the 24-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 15.
Now, Steve Ridenour plays one of the inside linebackers for Southview. He has been, at least since we've seen him, a 2-year starter, possibly a 3-year starter. And on that reverse at 9, from the inside linebacker spot, inside out, he stopped David Hands dead. If he had not, that play was going somewhere.
3rd and 15, big yardage for the Admirals. They'll have 2 cracks at it. Again, the reverse, but this time a pass from David Hands into the end zone and broken up in the end zone. Incomplete. Back there covering for the Southview Saints, Jeff Coates.
All right, now.
Also getting up for the Saints, Edwin Vargas.
What that was a reverse at 9 pass. Donnie Hands comes down to the bottom of the screen. David Hands comes to the top. Looks like a reverse at 9 that he just got tackled on. He stops and throws to Craig Fitch in the end zone. And to Southview's credit, they weren't fooled by it at all. Good play, good call offensively. Good defensive call to stop it.
David Hands in motion, going to the far side of the screen. David Rice looking to pass and connects all by himself, and there into the end zone goes the Admirals' Derek Wren.
You know what? That is going to be Jason Brown.
Jason Brown, all right.
And now, I'm going to tell you why that was open. David Rice rolls to the top of the screen. Jason Brown is the right tight end, is backpedaling in pass protection. He takes his 2 steps, then he comes out to the flat. Who would cover a backside tight end who's involved in pass protection? The backside linebacker gave up on him. Good call.
David Hands will be holding and trying the point after. Eon Wright, kick is good. 58 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. It is Admiral King leaded by 10, 17-7. Eon Wright will kick off now for the Admirals with a 10-point lead, 17-7.
You know what? Ian Wright is a soccer player and a good one, and he has shown enough, whatever you want to say, about playing 2 sports in the same season. And there was a fair catch here by Will Torres. He comes over, he practices at Admiral King, his soccer, and then he comes back to the Admiral King football field to do his field goal and extra point kicking and all that. Says a lot for a young man who does 2 sports on one day.
All right, the Southview Saints will take over now. 1st and 10, the ball spotted just over their own 30-yard line. 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Now remember, Ian Wright did not have a bad kick there. That's what they want to do. Southview starts on the 30-yard line, no return.
Robert Strouser, the quarterback, pitches back to Jeff Hughes. Hughes looking for running room, and he's going to be met and dropped. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. In on the tackle for the Admirals, Chris Miller along with Johnny Evans.
I guarantee you, with Southview being down by 10 points, you're going to see a Jeff Hughes show for the next 2 minutes and 35 seconds of this quarter and the last quarter. They are going to run him.
Gain of a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
What is this? Really?
Again, Jeff Hughes, as you predicted, being tackled by a host of Admiral King tacklers, gets up close to the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of another couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
You know what, Ronnie? When you say that there's a host of Admiral King tacklers there, that means that everybody on the defensive line stayed in their lanes. Jeff Hughes, as good as a back as he is, has no place to hit the hole because everybody's got their lane assignments for Admiral King.
This time Strouser looking to pass. He's being tackled for a loss. Making the stop for the Admirals, Johnny Evans. It'll be 4th down and no doubt a punting situation for the Southview Saints.
I'll tell you, Robert Strouser on that scissors bootleg down to the bottom of the screen, if he'd have had a chance, James Hamilton, the tight end, was open in the middle of the field. They didn't have time to get him the ball.
Fred Crumley doing the punting. Taken by David Hands on his 39. He's to the 40. Looking for running room on the far side. Cross the mid-stripe. He's to the Southview Saints 40 and out of bounds, and there's a flag here on the near side.
Well, they're calling a clip. The Admiral King coaches are upset up here. I don't know if there was or not, but I guarantee you there's a clip on Admiral King.
And shaken up on the play for the Southview Saints, Paris Stevens, a 180-pound junior, number 72, hobbling off the field.
I'll tell you what is so
Clip
tough.
is the call.
Yeah. You know, what is so tough on special teams is that you teach a kid that when he gets a block, his helmet or face mask has got to end up in front of the numbers. And as easy as that is for us to say, kids professionally all the way down at the point of impact sometimes get their head in the back. Now, whether that happened, I don't know. But that's what the call is, and Admiral King has wasted a great opportunity here.
And they'll start off now 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
Now, with 1:03 left, I'll tell you what this double wing offense does. It's ground control. The one thing they don't want to do is give the ball back to Jeff Hughes. Ball control. Whether Southview can stop them or Admiral King can do it, we'll find out.
And on that clipping penalty, 15 yards marched off at the point of the fall. That's what brings the ball back all the way to the 38-yard line. David Hands in motion. The give is to the cousin, Donnie Hands, and he breaks across the 45-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards on the play, maybe 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
All right, good call. Why? David Hands is the one that has been the featured runner. So now they come back with the double handoff, or I'm sorry, the counter 6 with Donnie Hands. Donnie Hands has not run a counter play all night. So it's a change up because Southview's looking for Hands, for the other Hands.
Donnie in motion. Donnie gets the ball. Donnie gets up to about the 46-yard line and is met solidly. There'll be very little gain on the play, and it will be 3rd down and 2. Tackle made by Steve Ridenour.
Steve Ridenour's name's coming up again and again from the middle linebacker spot on the 46 power. Inside-outside tackle. And you know why it was a good tackle? Because the runner couldn't finish his run. Ridenour finished the tackle. Good play by Southview.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Admiral King 17, Southview 7. And we'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this timeout for Impressions.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
Excellent ball.
On the 3rd down and 2. 2 for the Admirals. The fourth and final quarter underway here at George Daniels Stadium. Donnie hands in motion. Movement on the Southview line. Movement again, and timeout is called, but there is a flag.
I'll tell you what. That is a procedure call on Admiral King on a no play on 3. The left guard or left tackle moved. And that's unbelievable because it shouldn't happen because there's been no play called. That goes from a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 8.
Well, it should go to a 3rd and 7 if 5 and 2 equal 7. I would assume.
You're doing your mathematics on me, huh?
All right. Which makes the situation for the Admirals just a little bit stiffer now. No time has run off the clock since, as you indicated, John, there was no play.
There's no play.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if they repeat that procedure again or just go into it.
No. No point now.
David hands in motion, coming to the near side. And it's Rice looking to pass. Good coverage coming over to the sideline. And incomplete, out of bounds. The intended receiver, Donnie, hands on the incomplete pass. It'll be 4th and 7 and a punting situation for the Admirals. You know, this is our fourth and final quarter of football for the 1999-2000 season, but it's the 2000 season.
You're a year behind.
I guess I am. Time goes by too fast when you're getting older and having fun. And we welcome during this fourth quarter, and we'll see his handsome face during the post-game wrap-up, Bob Braskich, who will be doing the color commentating for the basketball games coming up after the first of the year. A good kick by Brett Crumley for by David Hands for the Admirals. And for the Southview Saints, the ball on their own 34-yard line. And the give is to Alonzo Williams, breaking free across the left side of the line and into Admiral King territory for a first down. Tackle made by David Hands. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball spotted directly on the mid-stripe. And a good start for the Southview Saints as they trail by 10 points in this ball game, 17-7.
Game saver tackle by David Hands. I told you, everybody's going to look for Jeff Hughes. And who do they trap with, or gets the trap call? Alonzo Williams. Good call, Southview offensive coordinator.
Pitch again goes to Hughes. Hughes breaks away from one tackle, gets across the 45-yard line. A gain of about 6 yards on the play, possibly 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. I can hear the Admiral King coaches down here to the right of us, and they're saying they've got a tackle, and that's absolutely right. That was a 16 isolation. The outside linebacker and the defensive end have got to take on these blocks and tackle Hughes, because if he gets ahead of steam, he's gone.
2nd and 3 for the Southview Saints as they're moving offensively. Strouser looking to pass, coming over to the near side and connects with James Hamilton. Hamilton picks up another first down for the Southview Saints. Tackle made by Keith Wood.
Okay, I believe, and I could be wrong, first pass completion of the night. Probably wrong on that, but first one I remember, a bootleg pass to the tight end in the flat. And I told you, Southview is deadly when they mix accurate passing with the running of Jeff Hughes.
Ball spotted just over the 30-yard line. 1st and 10. The give is to Alonzo Williams, and there is a flag. Thrown right into the thick of things. Alonzo Williams got the ball up to the 20-yard line, but we'll sort it out after the officials indicate what the penalty's all about. Might be holding, and it is. Holding against the Southview Saints. That'll bring the ball back and then some.
Now, I'm going to tell you what's happening. Why is Alonzo Williams all of a sudden, number 40, getting the call and being so successful in his runs? He is running in an offset fullback spot, and he's closer to the line normally than a normal fullback, and they're trapping for him. So before the inside linebackers from Admiral King can react, he is by them. But what happened there was probably one of the tackles from Southview held an Admiral King linebacker.
10-yard penalty for holding. It's 1st down and 20 now. Again, Strouser looking to pass. Going into the corner. And incomplete.
I'll tell you what. Look at James Hamilton, number 33 here. The good call, bad call, there's a flag. Strouser went for the home run. There was double coverage. Both two Admiral King defenders are coming back. That ball should have been thrown in the flat. It wouldn't have been for the home run, but it would have been for significant yardage. Southview may eke out of this with a penalty against King.
Chris Galligan was the intended receiver in the end zone. Covering on the play for the Admirals were Wesley Nixon and David Hands, and it was unnecessary roughness against the quarterback. Against the Admirals, 15 yards marched off, and that takes the ball to the 25-yard line.
Sometimes an offense has got to be patient. Strouser went for the whole thing in double coverage. He had a tight end 15, 20 yards down the field, wide open. Be patient.
And the penalty gives the Southview Saints a first down, 1st and 10 from the Admirals 25. And the give is to Alonzo Williams. He is grabbed and brought down by his T-shirt, and grabbing and bringing him down.
Tony Ridenour.
Big Tony Ridenour, 6'4", 330-pound senior for the Admirals.
You know why he tackled him like that? Because he was by him. And sometimes the only thing that you can grab is whatever. If you remember Craig Pruitt from the Cleveland Browns, liked to wear tearaway meshes. So exactly what happened to Alonzo Williams there wouldn't have happened to Craig Pruitt when he played for the Browns. The mesh would have tore away.
Gain of 6 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 4. The give is to Hughes. Hughes with some running room picks up a first down for the Southview Saints. David Hands making the tackle again. A possible touchdown saving tackle, but it's going to be
absolutely.
1st and 10.
Did you see what Jeff Hughes did? It looked like he was going to run a 17. Then he bounced it to a 19. And then it looks like he was gone, but then David Hands comes inside out for a game-saving tackle.
Ball is on the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. The give again is to Hughes. Hughes staying on his feet and in the end zone. Wow!
Missed tackles.
What an opportunity for the young man, and he took every advantage of it. That is his first touchdown of the night, and that gives him 13 on the season, and a total of 78 points scored by Jeff Hughes.
When you have an opportunity to tackle this guy, you cannot.
The Admirals are pointing northward.
Procedure call, Ron.
And a penalty against the Southview Saints. All that effort by Jeff Hughes for naught, at least this time around.
Now, wait a minute. The touchdown was taken away? Or the extra point?
They didn't even try the extra point yet.
Oh, okay. There was no touchdown, right?
That fantastic effort by Jeff Hughes for naught because a procedure call against the Southview Saints. We didn't see any flag go up, but it's first down.
Post flag.
Robert Strouser looking to pass, finally lets the ball go, and it's intercepted by the Admirals. Grabbing the ball and running for the Admirals is Keith Wood.
All right. I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot going on here. First of all, I thought Southview had scored a touchdown. The officials called procedure. I don't know. There's another flag, Ron. I don't know why the first flag took so long to take place. We thought he was in the end zone. Now, well, there's a flag here against King on a
clipping against King on the run back on the intercepted pass.
So Southview on the ensuing play rolls down here to the bottom of the screen. It was a boot, and they were going to try a post flag. Admiral King took that away, and then they tried to throw underneath, and Keith Woods took that. Then there was a penalty, a clip on the return. But what I don't understand is why they allowed that touchdown to take place and not stop the play. Wow. Craziness.
Well, the bottom line, when all is said and done and the dust has now settled, it's 1st and 10 for the Admiral King Admirals, taking away the scoring opportunity for the Southview Saints. However, the Admirals are deep in their own territory. This is a chance now for Southview's defense to rise to the occasion. They want to get that ball back. Donnie hands the ball carrier. Donnie gets it up close to the 10-yard line. Tackle made by Steve Ridenour Ball is on the 10, gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Now, Admiral King's objective is real easy. Ground control, get 2 or 3 first downs. Southview's objective is to strip the football. So you may see the Admiral King runners putting 2 hands over the ball because they want to try to get a first down and no fumbles.
And the give, I believe, to David Hands. Yes. David Hands gets the ball up to about the 15-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
Counter 7. And David Hands has learned in the course of this year with this offense to get in. Now you look at Tony Ridenour, the right tackle, 320-pound man. Get behind him and cut off of him. David is real small compared to Tony. You can hide in there.
Big important 3rd down play for the Admirals if they want to keep this drive alive and, like you say, run out that clock. It's David Rice carrying the ball, picks up the 1st down, gets across the 20-yard line.
All right. Now David Rice was tackled by we can't see the number. Number 7.
Number 70, Josh Whitfield, 220-pound senior.
All right, now, that was the first time that play was called. They faked Woods at the fullback spot, off tackle right, and then David Rice kept it for a 1st down call right behind the fullback. First time that call has been all night.
1st and 10. Pitch goes, and there's a flag here on the near side. David Rice, the ball carrier, cuts back across the 30-yard line.
It's got to be procedure, right?
Or make that 25-yard line. Procedure is the call against the Admirals. That'll bring it back and give them a 1st and 15.
Now, you notice how the official on that procedure call threw the flag real quickly, so there was out without any hesitation. We never saw that flag called on the touchdown that Southview ran into the end zone until, like, he couldn't find his flag. I'll tell you what will drive coaches nuts. Procedure calls, the mental things, going off on the wrong count. It just but they're kids. But it gives you gray hairs. I got plenty of them.
Ball is back on the 15-yard line, 1st and 15. Now, we mentioned about dedicating this refurbished stadium prior to the start of this ball game. One of the things I would love to see for next football season is the yard markers like they have 40, 50, 40. Also include the 30, the 20, and the 10. That I would love to see.
You've mentioned that before, haven't you?
But never officially.
Oh.
I am now saying it officially. It would be so much easier to determine where that ball is placed if you could see some indication.
Now, critical play here.
No gain on the play, by the way, 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10, Southview.
Well, I'm sorry, 5-yard gain because they picked up the 5-yard penalty, 2nd down and 10.
And that was Donnie Hands on a 46 power. Now, if all thinking is the same, let's see if they come back with David Hands down here to the bottom of the screen, or they could run their fullback, Keith Woods.
6 minutes remaining in the ball game. 10-point lead by the Admirals, 17-7. Donnie Hands to David Hands. David Hands coming near side. Can't find the running room. He's being tackled for a loss. In on the stop, Willie Tillman.
All right, reverse it 9. And David Hands did a smart thing here. Willie Tillman did a great job of tackling David. He stayed in bounds. And I'll guarantee you one thing Admiral King is not going to do on 3rd and 12 is throw the football. They are going to run the ball with Hands or Woods or the other Hands, and they're going to punt the ball, and I'm sure there's going to be a pump block in there. They will not throw the ball in this situation. They're going to let their defense win the ball game for them.
Donnie Hands in motion. And the give is to,
he got a first down.
I do believe, Keith Wood. And Keith Wood gets the ball across the 35-yard line and a 1st down for the Admirals.
You know what? I told you, this kid is a sophomore. On probably one of the bigger plays in the 4th quarter, he broke 2 tackles on a simple, what they call a 27. That play was not meant to go a 1st down. he got a first down, and, you know, because he got his shoulder pads lower than Southview did.
1st and 10 from the Admirals' 38-yard line. King in possession. Give is to Donnie Hands, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Edwin Vargas leading the tackle. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Well, Bob, are you all ready for the basketball season come the first of the year?
Ron, yes, I am ready for the basketball, and it's going to be a great year. Because if you take a look at our four teams, both girls' teams are just going to be outstanding this year. They have everybody back. They were very competitive, winning ball clubs last year. I look for them to do some damage in the tournament, and the boys' teams will be very good. And I'll comment on those in just one moment.
And we have a flag. Flag on the play. Running the ball for the Admirals, Wesley Nixon.
But Ron, Admiral King brings back basically their entire ball club, and Southview brings back a lot of skilled big people. And the challenge over there for their new coach, Al McConaughey, will be to replace those two good guards we've been watching for the last 2 years. And if they can get a good guard over at Southview, they're going to be very tough too. So we are going to have really good Lorain teams this year, especially on the girls' side. The boys' side is going to be very competitive also.
And Bob, like we've done for the past couple of seasons in basketball, after the first of the year, we always wind up doing 2 varsity boys games and 2 varsity girls games from both high schools, plus the doubleheader when the boys and the girls varsity meet between King and Southview. So we're looking forward to that.
Oh, we are. And there's a possibility we might be able to sneak a couple of middle school games into the schedule this year, I've heard. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be a good year.
5-yard penalty marched off against the Admirals. It's now 2nd and 15. And the give is to Keith Woods. Woods may have picked up a yard or 2 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and long yardage. And we have a timeout on the field. Timeout, Southview. And last time about the Palace Civic Center, we talked about the great movies coming up in early November, Chicken Run and Disney's The Kid. Looking ahead to Tuesday, November 14th, the student series A Christmas Carol gets underway at 9:45 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. All tickets are $3, so you want to come and see that. On Saturday, November 18th, will be the Lorain Golden Crescent Barbershop presenting Kaleidoscope, a 7:30 p.m. performance. Tickets are $12, $11, $10, and $9. On Tuesday, the 21st, an Ebony Fashion Show at 7:30 p.m. with professional models. Tickets are $25. And then the movie for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of November 23rd, 24th, and 25th. It's going to be Dinosaur. And don't forget, Saturday the 25th, Santa Claus arrives at 12 noon. That's all at the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway, downtown Lorain. All right, action underway once again here in the 4th and final quarter at George Daniel Stadium with exactly 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Admiral King ahead 17-7. Admirals with a 3rd down and 14. And it's David Rice coming back to pass. Up the middle and off the fingertips of David Hands. Covering for the Southview Saints, Willie Tillman might have knocked it away briefly, or at least took the attention off for David Hands. Anyway, it's 4th and 14 and a punting situation for the Admirals.
I'll tell you what, Admiral King got away with one. There were 3 people covering David Hands. In a situation like that, take the ball and run it. I mean, they had him covered and nobody got the ball. A good chance that Southview could have intercepted that.
The incomplete pass stopped the clock at 3:54. David Hands back to punt. Gets a good punt off. Lands on the 43, takes an Admiral King bounce and rolls dead on about the 36-yard line, where Southview will take over now, 1st and 10 from their own 36. Southview with the opportunity now to get some points on the board. The pass from Strouser to Chris Galligan, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
All right, Southview, Robert Strouser to Chris Galligan. The offensive line from Southview had cut blocks. It was a 3-step throw out of a split backfield. It was a 1-man pattern to Galligan, the top of the screen. Donnie hands on coverage. Southview missed connections. What Admiral King wanted to do in the previous series was keep the ball away from Jeff Hughes. And now with 3 minutes to go, there may not be enough time for Southview.
The give is to Jeff Hughes. Hughes with running room. Breaking tackles finally brought down into Admiral King territory at about the 45-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball, but it's going to be a 1st and 10 for Southview. 3:28 remaining in the ball game.
Guess what? There's plenty of time. If Southview is going to have runs like that, a simple draw. Admiral King, if they expect to keep him bottled up, there was 2 or 3 missed tackles there. This kid is flat out dangerous.
From the 45, 1st and 10, Strouser looking to pass, back to pass, right up the middle and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver for Southview, Jeff Coates.
I'll tell you, Donnie Hands on a bootleg or a rollout to the bottom of the screen tried to hit the backside flanker, Jeff Coates, and it was a post pattern, and he was open. I believe if Robert Strouser had thrown it a step sooner, there was a strike. Donnie Hands broke up the play. Nice play.
2nd and 10. The give is to Hughes. Hughes is not going to have the running room he had the last time he carried the ball. Tackle made by Craig Fitch.
And you know why why Craig Fitch was able to tackle Jeff Hughes one-on-one? Is that Jeff Hughes was trying to slip it outside and running sideways. He was like sidestepping. And Fitch was coming upfield, and that negated any kind of running style that Jeff Hughes had. He got caught in a move.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. In fact, a slight loss on the play, 2nd down and 11 now. Strouser back to pass, and he's going to be hit from behind. Making the tackle for the Admirals, Jason Brown. Jason Brown making the tackle, and the Southview Saints called timeout. 4th down for the Southview Saints. They obviously, down by 10 points, have to go for it. Strouser looking to pass. Up the middle, and Chris Galligan making the catch and picking up the 1st down. David Hands making the tackle. Now, there was an excellent pass play by the Southview Saints.
The Southview line gave Strouser enough time to throw, and Chris Galligan went after the football. The Admiral King defenders didn't. Galligan took the ball. Nice call, nice play.
Clock stopped momentarily for the Chains. Continues to run now with 2:20. Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier. He is into the end zone. Touchdown with 2:19 remaining in the ball game.
You're going to see an onside kick. Jeff Hughes on a toss sweep, and we have a Southview player down here hurt. But on a toss sweep, Jeff Hughes saw that end zone, and he wanted it.
For the extra point, Jason Messer doing the holding, and Brett Crumley will attempt the point after, and a flag, as I do believe one of the Admirals, Wesley Nixon, went into the neutral zone. Offsides against the Admirals. That'll bring the ball half the distance to the goal to about the 1.5 yard line.
Now, does that alter Southview's thinking? They go for 2, or they says, nope, we're going for the 1?
Well, Messer still is in the holding position, and Crumley is still out there to do the point after.
Smart call.
By the way, Jeff Coates was the injured player for the Southview Saints. He was helped off the field. Excellent kick. And now the Southview Saints have... Here we are waiting, and it's definitely going to be an onside kick as the Southview Saints line up near side, and it's Brett Crumley, and the ball is covered by Donnie Hands.
You know, I'll tell you what, that was an excellent onside kick by Southview's Brett Crumley, and it was also an excellent job by Donnie Hands, who I believe is a baseball player. What you do is, man, he played those bounces, cradled it, and just did a great job, and both sides executed, and Donnie Hands did what he's supposed to do. So did Brett Crumley.
Well, Brett's not too happy with himself as he comes off the field and goes off by himself. He was hoping that it would work.
Well, that's
you take that chance. You know, right? That's the competitor in him. He wanted to see that work, and like you said, it was a great onside kick.
I thought it was excellent.
But it was also a great catch, and you got to give credit where credit is due.
You got no play on 3.
And the Admiral King Admirals never get the playoff as they call timeout with 2:17 remaining in the ball game. Set to go, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. The Southview Saints wanting to get this ball back. They only have one timeout remaining. And David Hands getting the pitch from David Rice, slips on the turf and goes down, and apparently he is hurt. He is staying down.
That is the worst thing. You know, I think he's going to get up, but for Admiral King, that's the worst thing you wanted to happen, is that you don't want the clock to stop, and he just lost his footing. He may be coming, well, he's got to come out for a play.
Ball is on the 44-yard line. A loss of about 4 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 14 for the Admirals.
Well, I'll tell you, that was the best play call for Southview, something that lost yardage, took David Hands out of the game, and stopped the clock.
Well, the clock is running now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they lost yardage and Hands is out.
And now we've got a
delay a game.
Flag.
The backfield judge call, that's got to be delay a game. That's delay a game.
Delay a game against the Admirals with 1:40 remaining in the ball game. Admirals holding on to a 3-point lead. The ball is now back on King's 39-yard line, where it's now 2nd down and 18.
You know what I would call, Ron? I would call a delay pass to one of the tight ends that has resulted in one touchdown and one other big play. Let's see if Coach Jones decides to keep this ball on the ground.
Tight end Jamie Feliciano, 195-pound senior, bringing in the play from the bench. And the give. The give is to, I do believe, Wesley Nixon. And Southview has called their last timeout with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining in the ball game. All right, Southview just used up their last timeout. We've got a 3rd down and 18 for the Admirals. David Hands out of the ball game. He is the punter if the Admirals can't pick up this 1st down. David Rice back to pass, being chased, gets the ball away. And over to the near side, the receiver, Craig Fitch, gets the ball across the 50. It'll be a 4th down, though, for the Admirals.
Now, some things here. I called the play with the delay, but also David Hands is the punter, and Craig Fitch went out of bounds. So the best thing that could happen for Southview is that the clock gets stopped. Now, is David Hands coming back in to punt?
Yes, he is. He's hobbling out there, but he's in the ball game right now.
But good call with the tight end on the delay pass. But now, look who you've got back there. You've got Jeff Hughes. And David Hands has got a bum leg here. Now this one, you don't want Jeff Hughes to get a full head of steam.
And the Admiral King Admirals are going to call timeout.
This thing's got more twists and turns.
David Hands standing on his 40-yard line, gets a good snap from center and gets a good kick away to the far side of the field, and it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Southview will take over 1st and 10. They have 1 minute 17 seconds to get some points on this scoreboard, if not 6 by means of a touchdown, 3 through the foot of Brett Crumley.
They're going to Will Torres.
Krauser back to pass, looking for a receiver, coming to the near side and out of bounds as he catches the ball. Chris Galligan, no good. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The clock is stopped with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this ball game. So the Southview Saints will try again. And by the way, John, with all of this hullabaloo about the 2 Lorain high schools going into the Lake Erie League and what the Great Lakes League is saying about the whole situation, it'll be interesting for our viewers to watch our focus program each day this week, Monday through Friday, because the last several minutes, Superintendent Hudlock has some rather profound things to say about the Great Lakes League. So we urge our viewers interested. Oh, a fumble by Jeff Hughes, and the Admirals recover. Oh my goodness.
Jeff Hughes was going to run a draw play. Good call by the Southview coaching staff. And what happened was somebody stripped the ball, and the ball popped up, and Admiral King recovered.
And Jeff Hughes is just beside himself. His teammates are trying to console him. He won't have any part of it. I mean, here was the opportunity,
right,
and it's gone.
And you know
yet
what?
This happens.
And you know what? Right, because the kid has had such a wonderful game, and he's going to put that fumble on himself, and it's too bad. But that's what sports is. I think somebody said all the successes you have never outweigh some of the failures, and you just got to accept it as part of the game.
Well, we'll see if the Admirals will just run out the clock. Southview has no more timeouts.
Admiral King will probably take
David Rice will get the snap, and we'll see if he just takes the knee, and yes, he does. He takes the knee, and
the reason why
is stopped with 1:02, and the official is saying,
I don't know why they stopped it at all.
Yeah, the clock should not have stopped, and he's saying start it, and it's starting now. We have under a minute.
And you know why taking the knee is the only play to do? Because you don't want to take a chance between a handoff between the fullback and the quarterback. If the quarterback keeps the ball, takes a knee, that means there's no handoff and no fumble. There's no other call. You and I could call the last couple plays here.
And again, David Rice takes the knee. Clock continues to run. And this may be the last play, or was the last play, as we have now 16 seconds, and that should do her. And both teams are exiting the field, and we have, with the clock running down, as you can see, a victory by the Admiral King Admirals, 17-14 over the Southview Saints. We talked about heart in the pregame discussion before this event took place tonight here at George Daniel Stadium, and that's exactly what I look at it as being, a real event, a real type of high school football game. Southview Saints, needless to say, came into this ball game as they did last year, the favorite team. Last year, the Admirals winning 20-13. Tonight, the Admirals winning by a 3-point margin, 17-14. How do you size up the ball game?
Okay, real quickly, it's been a pleasure working with you. I know Bob Quinlan's going to retire soon, and we won't have him next year, so it's been nice to work with him. I'll tell you what, great crowd. The weather's unbelievable.
Yes.
This is why you play the game. I would imagine Southview was favored. And heart on both sides of the football field. And Admiral King came out on top, 17-14. And that's why newspaper people pick people to win ball games. And you know what? It's what the kids do on the field. And if you'd have told me this would be a 17-14 score, Admiral King wins, I'm not too sure I would have thought that. But that's what the score was. Great game by both sides.
Okay, excellent ball game, yes indeed. And both teams, ironically, end now with the same identical win-loss record. They both have 4 wins and 6 losses. And no doubt both Coach Jones and Coach Shoulders will already begin their plans for the 2001 football season. But before that comes around, like we've indicated, we'll be back with high school basketball after the first of the year. We'll be doing a couple of varsity games from both high schools, of the boys and the girls, plus their doubleheader, and we look forward to that. In the meantime, remember that focus program each day, Monday through Friday, 8:30, 12:30, 5:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. Superintendent Hutlock has some rather interesting things to say about this Lake Erie League versus Great Lakes League. I think you'll find it quite interesting. John, it's been a pleasure. And for our cameraman and producer and director, Bob Quinlan, I'm Ron Baclar. Once again, the final score, Admiral King 17, Lorain Southview 14.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, WLCS TV 20.